everyone, we are the Group 5. In this video, we will be tackling about the case of Edgardo Tijing and Bienvenida Tijing versus Court of Appeals and Angelita Diamante, General Register 125901 on March 8, 2001. Facts. Petitioners are husband and wife Edgardo A. Tijing and Bienvenida R. Tijing. They have 6 children. Angelita Diamante is the respondent. Edgardo Tijing Jr. is allegedly the child of petitioners. In August 1989, according to Bienvenida, Angelita went to her house to fetch for her an urgent laundry job. Since Bienvenida was on her way to do some marketing, she asked Angelita to wait until she returned. She also left her 4-month-old son, Edgardo Jr., under the care of Angelita, as she usually let Angelita take care of the child while Bienvenida was doing laundry. When Bienvenida returned from the market, Angelita and Edgardo Jr. were gone. Bienvenida forthwith proceeded to Angelita's house in Tondo, Manila, but did not find him there. Angelita's maid told Bienvenida that her employer went for a stroll and told Bienvenida to come back later. She returned to Angelita's house after 3 days. She discovered that Angelita had moved to another place. Bienvenida then complained to her barangay chairman and also to the police, who seemed unmoved by her pleas for assistance. Although estranged from her husband, Bienvenida could not imagine how her spouse would react to the disappearance of their youngest child, and this made her problem even more serious. As fate would have it, Bienvenida and her husband reconciled, and together this time, they looked for their missing son in their other places. Notwithstanding their serious efforts, they saw no traces of his whereabouts. 4 years later, or in October 1993, Bienvenida read in a tabloid about the death of Tomas Lopez, allegedly the common-law husband of Angelita, and whose remains were lying in state in Hagonoy, Bulacan. Bienvenida then proceeded to Hagonoy, where she allegedly saw her son Edgardo Tijing Jr., the first time after 4 years. She claims that the boy, who was pointed out to her by Benjamin Lopez, a brother of the late Tomas Lopez, was already named John Tomas Lopez. She avers that Angelita refused to return to her the boy despite her demand to do so.
In the ruling in the Regional Trial Court, Bienvenida and Edgardo filed their petition for habeas corpus with the trial court in order to recover their son. To substantiate their petition, the petitioners presented 2 witnesses, namely Lourdes Vasquez and Benjamin Lopez. The first witness, Lourdes Vasquez, testified that she assisted in the delivery of one Edgardo Tijing Jr. on April 27, 1989, at her clinic in Santa Ana, Manila. She supported her testimony with her clinical records. And the second witness, Benjamin Lopez, declared that his brother, the late Tomas Lopez, could not have possibly fathered John Tomas Lopez, as the latter was sterile. He recalled that Tomas met an accident and bumped his private part against the edge of a bangka, causing him excruciating pain and eventual loss of his childbearing capacity. Benjamin further declared that Tomas admitted to him that John Tomas Lopez was only an adopted son, and that he and Angelita were not blessed with children. For her part, Angelita, the respondent, claimed that she is the natural mother of the child. She asserts that at the age of 42, she gave birth to John Tomas Lopez on April 27, 1989. At the clinic of midwife Zosema Panganiban in Singalong, Manila. She added, though, that she has 2 other children with her real husband, Angel Sanchez. She said that birth of John Tomas was registered by her common-law husband, Tomas Lopez, with the local civil registrar of Manila on August 4, 1989. On March 10, 1995, the trial court concluded that since Angelita and her common-law husband could not have children, the alleged birth of John Tomas Lopez is an impossibility. The trial court also held that the minor and Bienvenida showed a strong facial similarity. Accordingly, it ruled that Edgardo Tijing Jr. and John Tomas Lopez are one and the same person, who is the natural child of the petitioners. The trial court decreed. Wherefore, premises considered, judgment is hereby rendered, granting the petition for habeas corpus. As such, Respondent Angelita Diamante is ordered to immediately release from her personal custody the minor John Thomas D. Lopez and turn him over and/or surrender his person to petitioner's spouses Edgardo A. Tijing and Bienvenida R. Tijing immediately upon receipt thereof. Branch Sheriff of this court, Carlos Baha, is hereby commanded to implement the decision of this court by assisting herein the petitioners in the recovery of the person of their minor son, Edgardo Tijing Jr., the same person as John Thomas D. Lopez.
Angelita successfully filed her notice of appeal. Nonetheless, on August 3, 1994, the sheriff implemented the order of trial court by taking custody of the minor. In his report, the sheriff stated that Angelita peacefully surrendered the minor and he returned over the custody of the said child to the petitioner Edgardo Tijing. On appeal, the Court of Appeals reversed and set aside the decision rendered by the trial court. The appellate court expressed its doubts on the propriety of the habeas corpus. In its view, the evidence adduced by Benevenda was not sufficient to establish that she was the mother of the minor. It ruled that the lower court erred in declaring that Edgardo Tijing Jr. and John Thomas Lopez are one and the same person, and disposed of the case. Thus, in the view of the foregoing, the decision of the lower court dated March 10, 1995 is hereby reversed, and a new one entered dismissing the petition in Proclamation Number 94-71606 and directing the custody of the minor John Thomas Lopez to be returned to Respondent Angelita Diamante, said minor having been under the care of said respondent at the time of the filing of the petition herein.
Petitioners sought reconsideration of the above-quoted decision, which was denied. Hence, the instant petition alleging, first, that the Respondent Court of Appeals committed a grave error when it declared that the petitioner's action for habeas corpus is merely secondary to the question of filiation that the petitioners had likewise proven. Second, that the Respondent Court of Appeals erred in reversing the decision of the Regional Trial Court, dismissing the petition for habeas corpus and directing that the custody of the minor John Thomas Lopez, who was proven that to the same minor as Edgardo R. Tijing Jr., be returned to the private respondent. So, these are the issues. First is whether or not habeas corpus is the proper remedy. So, the writ of habeas corpus extends to all cases of illegal confinement or detention by which any person is deprived of his liberty, or by which the rightful custody of any person is withheld from the person entitled thereto. Thus, it is the proper legal remedy to enable parents to regain the custody of a minor child, even if the latter be in the custody of a third person of his own free will. Second, whether or not Edgardo Tijing Jr. and John Thomas Lopez are one and the same person and is the son of petitioners. In this case, the minor's identity is crucial in determining the propriety of the writ sought. Thus, it must be resolved first whether the Edgardo Tijing Jr. claimed by Bienvenida to be her son is the same minor named John Thomas Lopez, whom Angelita insists to be her offspring. We must first determine who between Bienvenida and Angelita is the minor's biological mother. Evidence must necessarily be adduced to prove that two persons initially thought of to be distinct and separate from each other are indeed one and the same. Petitioners must convincingly establish that the minor in whose behalf of the application for the writ is made is the person whom they have rightful custody. So the Supreme Court, it is true that it is not the function of the court to examine and evaluate the probative value of all evidence presented to the concerned tribunal which form the basis of its impugned decision, or resolution or order. But since the conclusion of the Court of Appeals contradict those of the trial court, This court may scrutinize the evidence on the record to determine which findings should be preferred as more conformable to the evidentiary facts. Wherefore, the instant petition is granted. The assailed decision of the Court of Appeals is reversed and the decision of the Regional Trial Court is reinstated. Cause against the private respondent, so ordered.
A close scrutiny of the records of this case reveals that the evidence presented by Benvenida is sufficient to establish that John Thomas Lopez is actually her missing son, Edgardo Tijing Jr. First, there is evidence that Angelita could no longer bear children. For her very lips, she admitted that after the birth of her second child, she underwent ligation at the Martinez Hospital in 1970 before she lived with Thomas Lopez without the benefit of marriage in 1974. Assuming she had that ligation removed in 1978, as she claimed, she offered no evidence she gave birth to a children between 1978 to 1988 or of a period of 10 years. The midwife who allegedly delivered the children was not presented in court. No clinical records, logbook, or discharge order from the clinic were ever submitted. Second, there is strong evidence which directly prove that Thomas Lopez is no longer capable of siring a son. Benjamin Lopez declared in court that his brother Thomas was sterile because of the accident and that Thomas admitted to him that John Thomas Lopez was only an adopted son. Moreover, Thomas Lopez and his legal wife, Maria Rapatan Lopez, had no children after almost 15 years together. Though Thomas Lopez had lived with private respondent for 14 years, they also bore no offerings. Third, we find unusual the fact that the birth certificate of John Thomas Lopez was filed by Thomas Lopez instead of the midwife, and on August 4, 1989, 4 months after the alleged birth of the child. Under the law, the attending physician or midwife in attendance at birth should cause the registration of such birth. Only in default of the physician or midwife can the parent register the birth of his child. The certificate must be filed with the local civil register within 30 days after the birth. Significantly, the birth certificate of the child stated Thomas Lopez and private respondent were legally married on October 31, 1974 in Hagonoy, Bulacan, which is false because even private respondent had admitted she is a common law wife. This false entry puts to doubt that the other data in said birth certificate.
Fourth, the trial court observed several times that when the child and Benvenida were both in court, the two had strong similarities in their face, eyes, eyebrows, and head shapes. Resemblance that between a minor and his allied parent is competent and material evidence to establish parentage. Needless to stress, the trial court's conclusion should be given high respect, it having had the opportunity to observe the physical appearance of the minor and petitioners concerned. Fifth, Lourdes Vasquez testified that she assessed and Benvenida giving birth to Edgardo Tejeng Jr. at her clinic. Unlike private respondent, she presented clinical records consisting of a logbook, discharge order, and the signatures of petitioners. All this considered, we are constrained to rule that subject minor is indeed the son of petitioners. The right of habeas corpus is proper to regain custody of the said child.
Since the evidence that presented or discussed earlier is strong enough to prove that Edgardo Tijing Jr. is the missing son of the petitioner, so in this case, they did not use DNA testing, and also that time, DNA testing is not yet implemented. DNA testing is highly beneficial in case of parenting to determine the true parents of a child due to its accuracy and reliability. Here are some reasons why DNA testing is helpful in determining the true parents of a child. Number 1. Scientific accuracy. DNA testing is based on comparing the genetic material DNA of the children with that of the potential parents. DNA is unique to each individual, and a child inherits half of the DNA from their biological father by analyzing specific regions of the DNA. A DNA test can establish a biological relationship with a high degree of accuracy. Number 2. Objective evidence. DNA testing provides objective and scientific evidence regarding parentage. It eliminates any doubts or uncertainties by providing clear and conclusive result. The results are typically presented as a probability of paternity, which indicate the likelihood of a tested man being the biological father. Number 3. Legal validity. In legal proceedings such as child custody, dispute, child support case, or inheritance claim, DNA testing is recognized as strong evidence by court. The result of legal conducted DNA tests can have significant impact on court decision regarding parental rights, child support obligating, and inheritance rights.